Now, ending it off with the performance, if you didn't already know, this thing has that Apple A14 Bionic chip inside of it with 4GB of RAM. Now, this thing's performance is about the same as an iPhone 12. So imagine owning an iPhone 12, the same type of chipset, same type of RAM, you're pretty much going to be getting that same type of performance on the iPad Air 4. So what does that mean? That means that the iPad Air 4 is an insanely good performing tablet. Whatever you're going to do with it, it's going to be amazing. And I own the M1 MacBooks. Like these things are great. There's a lot of things I can do on a MacBook I can't necessarily do on an iPad. But if you're even thinking about getting a MacBook and you think you can get by with an iPad, I would recommend the iPad Air 4. This is a very good performing iPad. It has a lot of capability, and really whatever I did with it, I typically do my standard tests of, playing some heavy intensive games. Maybe ever so slightly I'll do some video editing, but relatively it's just gaming and multitasking and RAM management and stuff. And this iPad did a very good job. As I mentioned, it's not perfect, but it does get the job done. And I think, as I mentioned before, that in and of itself is a massive reason to pick up this iPad. This performance is almost, I would say it's sometimes better than an iPad Pro. But here's the thing, and the most crucial thing to keep in mind, when you get to this level, right, when you get to the iPad Air 4s compared to the iPad Pro 4th gens and stuff, you're really not going to care. Like, it's not going to be that big of a difference. You're mostly just going to see, is it good enough for me? For me personally, an iPad mini 5 is good enough for me, an iPad Air 3 is good enough for me, probably even the iPad Pro 2nd generation, the 10.5 inch, is more than enough for me, and that thing's chipset is much older than this thing. So the iPad Air 4 is still a very good performing iPad. Like I mentioned, I've compared many iPads, I've compared many phones to each other. This iPad is a very good iPad and could potentially be one of the fastest iPads out right now. So take it as you will, but that's kind of what I'm seeing with this specific iPad Air 4. Now to kind of